tonight, pushing back against a photo radar ban.
Calling on the provincial government to consider allowing the speed cameras to continue in school zones.
More than 20 Ontario mayors signing on to a letter in protest, looking for a compromise that will keep speed cameras active in school zones. Where do we stand in Ottawa? Still feels like summer on the drive.
In the moment, it sucks, but obviously they're doing it for a reason.
It sucks. It's terrible.
It's all the time.
At this point, I might just stay home.
Construction season in full swing from the Queensway to Colonel By. Why getting where you're going may be a frustrating feat this weekend. And still feels like summer on the golf course, too.
The weather being as it is and it's going up, I'm opening the pool again on Sunday.
And the patio.
Cheers.
Falling into some potentially record-breaking heat this October weekend. Good evening. We begin tonight with a mayoral revolt against the province's plan to ban speed cameras. More than 20 mayors signing a letter to Premier Ford urging him to allow photo radar to stay in place in school zones, something Ottawa's mayor is also in favor of. CTV's Natalie Van Roy is live in studio with the latest. Natalie.
Patricia, there's a wave of opposition across the province as municipalities push back against the province's proposed legislation. Now, here in Ottawa, some city councillors and Mayor Mark Sutcliffe are working to keep the cameras in school zones.
In this Alta Vista neighborhood, a photo radar camera nabs drivers going over the speed limit.
People driving sometimes like crazy, and speed limit is really helpful for young guys around there.
It's installed near 3 schools, but could soon be one of 60 turned off across the city.
No, they shouldn't get rid of them because there's a school nearby. They shouldn't. Yeah, it's just so that the drivers are cautious when they're driving.
Now municipalities are pushing back against the Ford government's plan to ban the cameras. More than 20 Ontario mayors penning a letter to the Premier and Transportation Minister urging them to reconsider, writing a total ban on automated speed cameras would reverse years of progress on safety in school zones. It would place more pressure on police, increase enforcement costs, and most critically, endanger lives.
It's an effective program.
Ottawa's mayor did not sign the letter, but says he wants to see the cameras remain in school zones.
At our next council meeting, we'll be advancing a motion calling on the provincial government to consider allowing the speed cameras to continue in school zones.
50 of the 60 cameras in Ottawa are in school zones, 6 are near parks and playgrounds, and 4 are in high-speed zones. While the Premier calls them a cash grab, not all residents agree.
I think they should stay, to keep the children safe and so that people don't speed in those areas.
If they're already in place, why would they take them out? Especially if people that are speeding get punished for doing it. That's a good idea. Leave them there.
If the provincial legislation is passed, the cities will be forced to turn off the cameras, and Premier Ford wants to see them replaced with new flashing warning signs instead. Patricia.
CTV's Natalie Van Roy live for us tonight. Thank you. And you can scan the QR code on the bottom of your screen to link to us online or visit ctvnewsottawa.ca. We have more details on that pushback against the province's plan to ban photo radar cameras. Well, the good news is a beautiful weekend to roll down the car window. The bad news, you may be spending a lot of time inside that car if you're on the roads in the next couple of days. Ramped up end of summer road construction and the shutdown of the O train will slow things down for Ottawa drivers. CTV's Tyler Fleming out driving around in it for us today and joins us in studio. Tyler?
Yeah, Patricia, it seems the pre-winter push is on to to finish up road work. So if you plan to travel around the city this weekend, prepare for delays, avoid the highway through downtown. Oh yeah, and forget about the LRT. If you feel like every street across the city is barricaded for construction, you're not alone.
It's all the time, actually. There's always road work being done.
The installation of new lights along Colonel By means a single-lane closure around the Bank Street Bridge. Weekday commutes here are slow, and Michael Sakely has a word for it.
I'm not allowed to say that, but it sucks. It's terrible.
The pathway is also closed. Work here wraps up towards the end of November.
It's been really bad the last 2 weeks.
And this weekend, it may be worse. There will be major lane reductions along the Queensway in both directions. Starting at 9 p.m. Friday until 5 a.m. Monday, lanes will be shut down in both directions between Kent Street and Island Park Drive, and the westbound on-ramp at Rochester will also be closed. Crews will be working on bridges, paving, and line painting. Motorists are encouraged to use Carling Avenue, which also has its fair share of road work and lane reductions.
Yeah, just don't drive.
And forget about the train. A full LRT Line 1 shutdown starts Friday at 8 p.m. and resumes regular service on Monday. Replacement buses will be running from Tunney's to Blair.
I was planning on going out to the beach with some friends, but at this point I might just stay home.
Nikolai Gregory has a detour of his own.
I can just hide away, if I need to bike in or something like that.
But many of Ottawa's road construction projects will push well into November, including highway ramp closures at Bronson, Lyon, and Holly Acres.
In the moment it sucks, but obviously they're doing it for a reason. A little bit of pain now I think will be good for, the future.
Other lane-reducing road work hotspots are along sections of Baseline, Greenbank, and Heron. So if you are out on the road, bring along your best playlist list for the ride, because, Patricia, I know what your playlist will be, and you don't want traffic to ruin the friendship.
Taylor Swift, one of the new songs.
That's
I love
right.
That. Yeah, a lot of music. I mean, usually you get one kind of half day when all the construction crews pack up, and then the snow, the next day.
It's going to happen.
Thanks for this, Tyler. CTV's Tyler Fleming live for us tonight, and we do have extended coverage of the Queensway and road closures this weekend, as well as all those detours. Maybe you want to take your bike. You can find that all on our website, ctvnewsottawa.ca.
Still ahead, is it a bumper crop for pumpkins this year? Well, not in much of Canada due to drought and heat, but don't be too scared. In parts of our region, pumpkin farmers giving thanks they have enough to share. That story coming up.
Well, if you love fall and we're looking forward to wearing sweaters or wrapping your hands around a warm beverage, you may have to wait a little longer. Ottawa is getting a blast of summer-like weather, making October feel more like hot-tober, with temperatures expected to reach record-breaking highs this weekend. CTV's Josh Morano with the tough assignment today out on the golf course and the patio, checking out how residents are soaking it all in. Josh.
Yeah, Patricia, I'm sure you're happy about this, so don't put away those patio chairs quite yet, because summer is sticking around, at least for this weekend, with temperatures reaching as high as 28 on Sunday, and for some here in the capital, they'll take the extra days in the sun.
Isn't it a great day to be out golfing today?
Not a cloud in the sky for Nancy Bauer and her friends, getting out for a round of golf at Falcon Ridge as they enjoy a hot fall day.
The best of it is there's no humidity, there's no rain, and there's no snow, and we've done it in all.
Temperatures in the mid-20s this weekend. The rare October heat wave has golfers swinging and smiling.
It helps us to our, soul, moods, behavior, everything. And we are happier now.
With the slow start in May, this is just a bonus to have really good weather into October, looking like it'll be going almost to November right now with the long-term forecast.
It's not just golfers soaking it in. Patios across the city are also busy as residents grab a drink or bite to eat in the sun before the cooler weather returns.
Instead of a very rainy fall and windy and cloudy, it's nice like this. It's better than summer.
Yeah, and it seems to postpone to the cold weather a little bit.
Environment Canada is calling for highs of 28 and 27 on Sunday and Monday, respectively. Both would set new records for that day. Unusual to see this kind of heat this time of year, but not unheard of.
We're definitely seeing warmer than normal temperatures into the weekend and even into early next week. And then by midweek, we're going to see temperatures that are returning back to normal. And normal for Ottawa this time of year is about 15 degrees during the day and 6 degrees at night.
With that in mind, Bauer and her friends living in the moment on this bonus summer day.
Let's just enjoy the whole day and the leftover of the golf season and all that. And the companionship.
Let's get out there.
And as you heard, this gorgeous weather is only expected to last until midweek before dipping back towards seasonal norms. So if you're looking to get a tan or patio session in, this weekend may be your last chance. Patricia.
Would love a chance to get out golfing with those women. They look like they're really enjoying the moment. Josh, thanks so much for this. And CTV's Josh Morano is live for us as we take a look at our forecast and take a look through our Centennial Glass Skycam. We've just dropped a degree from 24. It is still 23 degrees out there in Ottawa. And we'll just recap what Josh had to say. Sunshine all weekend and then cooler, more seasonal temperatures into midweek. So we do have a few clouds this evening. We'll have sunshine tomorrow. It is going to be warm. Sunday and Monday are the 2 days where we might break a record as we get into the upper 20s on both of those days. 19 degrees at 8 o'clock for your Red Blacks this evening. You'll wake up to 10 degrees tomorrow with a mix of sun and cloud, and then full on sunshine in the afternoon, looking to get up to about 26 degrees by mid-afternoon tomorrow. And how's this for a Friday evening in October? 23 degrees with the sun still shining. Well, for those without a family doctor, finding medical care can be difficult. Many face long lines at walk-in clinics or emergency rooms. Now the city is trying to address that, unveiling a bold plan to attract more physicians to the capital. CTV's Kimberly Fowler joins us now with the details. Kimberly.
Patricia, here in Ottawa, we're dealing with a shortage of around 270 family care providers. And to help address that, the city is unveiling a 10-point strategy to recruit new doctors to work and encourage them to stay here in the capital.
Trying to find a family doctor is impossible.
Julie Womack hasn't had a family doctor since the pandemic after hers retired. She's battling breast cancer, and trying to see a doctor for treatment can be challenging.
Well, you go to clinics, you have to find the doctors online too, but you have to pay because it's not covered from OHIP. So it's like $75 or $50. Then you have to go and find a pharmacy that'll fill the medicine. And then it's an evil circle.
Womack is one of at least 165,000 residents in Ottawa without a family doctor. The city is now unveiling a plan to address the shortage of about 270 practicing family care providers, which includes creating and hiring an ambassador position to implement the plan, joining the Eastern Ontario Physician Recruitment Alliance so the city has access to a network of resources and expertise, advocate to the Ontario government for policy changes, and design a targeted recruitment plan for medical school, residency, and nurse practitioner programs.
It's very important that the University of Ottawa Faculty of Medicine be a key partner in this. We know that they graduate between 60 and 70 family doctors a year, and not a lot of them are staying in the nation's capital. They are moving away. Either they're moving back to their hometown or they're moving into communities that recruit them. So I would like to see how we can better leverage that relationship.
Ottawa's plan also suggests offering incentives to take some of the administrative burden off family doctors.
If you provide the physician with no need to do paperwork, or you provide the administrative backup, right, for that, that's another incentive that will attract physicians.
Those like Womack hoping the city's plan works.
If we had a family doctor, that would be awesome. But to find a family doctor that'll take myself and my children is hard.
Well, what's not included in this plan are financial incentives. City staff say while that's a practical approach for small, rural, and remote communities, it can pit municipalities against each other. The 10-point plan will be presented at an upcoming city committee meeting on October 14th. Patricia.
Those real stories of people out there without family doctors. Wow. All right, CTV's Kimberly Fowler live for us tonight. Thank you. Well, police are investigating a daytime shooting in Overbrook that left one man with injuries. It happened at Pressland Road and Lola Street about 11:40 a.m. A man was found at the scene with gunshot wounds. He was brought to hospital in stable condition with non-life-threatening injuries. Police have not arrested any suspects. Police have identified the Ottawa man stabbed to death in the city's East End yesterday. Emergency responders were called to Saint Laurent Boulevard between Brittany Drive and Montreal Road just before 7 a.m. 55-year-old Justin James Weir was found with stab wounds. He was pronounced dead in hospital. Police have not made any arrests. Investigators are looking to speak with anyone who was in the area overnight on Wednesday. A 34-year-old man was injured in a suspected targeted shooting in Gatineau. Officers were called to the area of Rue Vimy and Rue Notre Dame around 8:30 last night. They found a victim suffering from gunshot wounds. He was rushed to hospital. Police have not made any arrests, but say the victim and suspect are known to each other. Residents in the area who may have surveillance video are asked to contact Gatineau police. Well, 2 people are facing charges, and police are looking for a 3rd suspect after a fire at a pizzeria in Hawkesbury this summer. Officers were called to the restaurant on James Street around 11:30 p.m. on August 4th. Witnesses reported seeing 2 men walk away from the scene. Police believe the fire was set intentionally. 2 21-year-old men from Quebec have been charged with arson, and an arrest warrant has been issued for another 20-year-old man. The chief financial officer at Ottawa's largest school board is resigning. The Ottawa Carleton District School Board says Randy Guerrier is leaving his position for personal reasons. In the spring, he warned trustees that tough decisions would have to be made to balance the budget this school year. The board is currently under provincial supervision. The Ontario government appointed Robert Plamondon in June, citing the board's 4 straight budget deficits. Well, Canada Post workers are escalating strike action here in Ottawa as the Crown Corporation tables a new offer to the union, and the federal government suggests it is planning to reform the financially strapped service. CTV Stefan Keys joining us now live in studio with the latest on this, Steph.
Patricia, the federal government says Canada Post will undergo job cuts and slash a number of services, including daily mail delivery and closing offices in some rural areas. And clearly delivering that message doesn't bode well for the union representing postal workers. Today's offer from the Crown Corporation included a more than 13% wage increase over 4 years, similar to terms offered in May, but Canada Post removed a signing bonus, citing a worsening financial picture. Meanwhile, postal workers are on the picket lines fighting for job security, and Canada Post insists this offer is the best they can do as their bottom line continues to suffer.
What we've presented this morning would protect as much as we can that was in our best and final offer. So wage increases, cost of living allowances, the defined benefit pension, and the things that they enjoy today.
To recap, the proposal includes a 13% wage increase over 4 years, a defined benefit pension, health and post-retirement benefits, up to 7 weeks vacation, and a cost of living allowance. The Postal Service has said it is aiming to reduce staffing levels through attrition and voluntary departures before considering layoffs. The 55,000-member Canadian Union of Postal Workers responded to the news by declaring a renewed strike last week, and already charities say they are hurting because of it.
We run annual giving campaigns through the whole year, but they really ramp up from September. This is when we do our Thanksgiving meal, our Christmas meal, and it's a huge fundraising time for us. We bring in 1/3 of our annual donations at this time of year, so we were worried.
The mission receives more than $500,000 in mail donations around this time of year. As the postal strike continues, the mission is appealing to people to donate online through its website or by phone. And we're also hearing from food banks across the country who say they too get donations by mail, indicating some of the most vulnerable Canadians stand to be put in a worsening situation if these agencies lose out, Patricia.
All right, thank you, Steph. CTV Stefan Keys live for us tonight. You can stay with CTV News for continuing coverage of the Canada Post strike. For updates on radio, tune into News Talk 580 CFRA and CTV News channel at any hour. Well, turning now to developing news out of the Middle East. Hamas is reportedly agreeing to release all Israeli hostages, alive or dead. Earlier today, U.S. President Donald Trump gave Hamas a deadline of Sunday evening to end the war in Gaza and sign on to his peace deal, calling it, quote, a last chance. According to Reuters, Hamas has agreed to release the remaining hostages with conditions, saying it would accept some elements of the Gaza peace plan, which Trump announced alongside the Israeli Prime Minister earlier this week. That plan would give Hamas no role in governing Gaza. Well, Sean Diddy Combs has been sentenced to more than 4 years in prison after he was convicted of transportation to engage in prostitution. The disgraced hip-hop mogul flew people around the U.S. for sexual encounters, including his girlfriends and male sex workers. The judge said a lengthy sentence was needed for deterrence. In court, Combs apologized for any harm he caused his ex-girlfriend. Well, now to more developing news out of this province. Marineland says it needs federal funding or it will be forced to euthanize its remaining whales. Earlier this week, the federal fisheries minister denied Marineland's request to export 30 belugas to China. The Niagara Falls theme park, which has not been open for more than a year, says that was its only option, as it is in debt with no ability to continue paying for food for the animals. 20 whales have died at the park since 2019. Well, the Prime Minister is gearing up for another high-stakes trip to Washington. Mark Carney is preparing to meet with U.S. President Donald Trump next week. And CTV News has learned the government expects some movement on steel and aluminum tariffs. CTV News' Abigail Beeman reports.
Why don't you just join our country? You become 51, become the 51st state.
It will be Mark Carney's second White House visit since becoming Prime Minister in a déjà vu era of 51st state remarks.
As long as this continued reference to the 51st state remains foremost in the president's mind, this is not an atmosphere that is going to make these type of negotiations easy, and it's something that absolutely enrages Canadians.
The Prime Minister has been tight-lipped lately about any progress with the president, his office not always saying when they've spoken.
Have you talked to Donald Trump recently? Yes. What'd he say?
But next week's visit will aim to keep trying to get a deal on punishing American tariffs, as both countries also launch consultations for the upcoming review of CUSMA. One source tells CTV News Canada is expecting progress on steel and aluminum tariffs, but not autos. In a rare public update, the top minister on the Canada-U.S. file told a Senate committee this week he's hopeful there can be a separate deal ahead of CUSMA.
I'm hoping we can get progress before the review process formally engages, but time will tell us if my optimism is misplaced.
The embassy is abuzz, Canadian embassy is abuzz with visits and people reaching out and meetings. But maybe I think Mark Carney knows that sometimes the principal has to get into the room to close the deal. And I'm hoping that Mark Carney's trip to Washington to meet with President Trump will be about a deal and not just more conversation.
In addition to LeBlanc, the foreign affairs and industry ministers will be joining the Prime Minister on his trip to D.C. Abigail Beeman, CTV News, Ottawa.
The federal government is backtracking on its plan to limit the number of Remembrance Day wreaths for MPs to display at cenotaphs to just 2 after the policy change sparked backlash.
On learning that the changes could significantly disruptive to the Remembrance Day, I've instructed my department to revert to the previous format for this year.
Earlier this week, CTV News reported on the plan, which was outlined in an email from the Veteran Affairs Minister, Jill McKnight, noting that MPs requiring more than 2 wreaths would have to order them for $115 each at their own expense. In question period today, McKnight said she would no longer be moving forward with those changes this year.
This one is probably half the size it should be.
The jack-o'-lantern may have to be a little smaller this year. Just ahead, we'll have more on how the summer drought is impacting pumpkin patches across the capital. And here's a live look through our Centennial Glass sky cam. It is 23 degrees out there. We'll have full weather details coming up right after the break.
Your morning just got a little brighter. Wake up and start your day with CTV Your Morning, and you could be $20,000 richer. Simply watch CTV Your Morning Ottawa for the daily code word. Then enter it online at ctvottawa.ca for your chance to win. Imagine what you could do with an extra $20,000. CTV Your Morning's $20,000 giveaway. Watch CTV Your Morning Ottawa, weekday morning 6 to 9.
It's that time of year again, the Ottawa Fall Home Show. We're here at the EY Center with Jeff from Bath Planet. You own the business with your wife.
Yes, we've been operating for over 10 years in the Ottawa and surrounding areas. We do tub to shower conversions, full bathroom renovations, tile, heated floors, and we specialize in accessibility and easy to clean with big warranty.
All right, the best way to find out more is to come to the Ottawa Fall Home Show and see Jeff from Bath Planet here at the EY Center.
Our popular Team of the Week segment is back. If you want to be a part of our Myers Automotive Group Team of the Week, upload your video to ctvnewsottawa.ca. Well, visiting a pumpkin patch is a stable activity during the season, but you may notice something different at some farms this year. The dry conditions throughout the summer mean some pumpkins are a little smaller than usual. And as CTV's Kimberly Johnson reports, one local farm was not able to grow enough for the season.
This one is probably half the size it should be.
These small pumpkins are one of the few that have made it at Canmore Orchard this season.
We had a drought. We had a significant period of over 6 weeks where there was no rain or next to no rain. Like the weather forecast would say, scattered showers. And I'm looking at the sky going, where? Because it was not happening here.
Owner Vic Baker says the orchard planted hundreds of seeds across 4 acres.
Just so sadly dry.
But a summer drought mixed with a broken irrigation system on the farm meant they had to buy hundreds of pumpkins this year, placing them in their pumpkin patch to meet the needs of thousands of visitors throughout October.
Heartbreaking to know that, okay, so you're doing all the things that you're supposed to do. You get the crop into the ground. You see that, yes, they are indeed germinating, and no rain. Consistently no rain.
But just 40 minutes away, it was a different story. At Miller's Farm in Manotick, the owner says they had a fruitful year.
I called our office manager, Dave Beveridge, and said to him, I can't believe the crop that's in here. And he said to me, I can't believe you're so excited over pumpkins. I said, yes, because I thought they wouldn't be any bigger than my head this year.
Miller's Farm supplied Canmore with 700 pumpkins. Owner Ron Miller says farms further north and closer to the Ottawa River received more rain.
That's farming. Sometimes maybe he might have to help me out next year. Who knows, eh? That's what it is with farmers. We help each other out.
Back at Canmore Orchard, the loss of the pumpkins is a financial hit. But Baker says their biggest draw is their haunted house, helping them survive a scary season.
Luckily, we are an ag tourism business, so we have to lean into the family activities.
Kimberly Johnson, CTV News.
Well, in fact, it was the second driest September in Ottawa since 1984. And no rain in the forecast again for this weekend. It may be October, but certainly feels much more like summer, and a lot of people out there enjoying that sunshine and beautiful views over at Hogsback Falls today. It will be a perfect weekend to view the fall colors in the summer temperatures. As we take a look at your forecast, mostly clear tonight, just a few cloudy periods overnight here in Ottawa and across Canada. Some spots also seeing the heat, others more typical fall weather. 12 degrees in St. John's, 15 in Charlottetown, so mid-teens, a little bit moderate compared to what we're seeing out east into Quebec and Ontario. You see those temperatures get up over 20 degrees, with Windsor being the hot spot today at 25 degrees, but we will see temperatures like that again tomorrow. Some heat out west as well, 25 degrees in Winnipeg, into the teens in Saskatchewan. Alberta seeing a lot of sunshine, mid-teens there as well, pretty cool up in Yellowknife as they start to see fall, Whitehorse as well. And out on the west coast, a mix of sun and cloud, and 16 degrees for their high. We take a look at the lows overnight tonight, not terribly low. In fact, getting up close to where we would be seasonally for the daytime highs, double digits for the most part, 10 degrees in Ottawa tonight, 12 degrees in Brockville, 13 in Kingston, 11 degrees in Trenton, a little bit cooler in Bancroft. We're seeing 9 in Maniwaki and 8 degrees in Tremblant across the river in Gatineau, 10 degrees the same in Petawawa. Montreal a little warmer at 14, Kemptville a little cooler at 9. Your 7-day forecast is brought to you by Davidson Hearing Aid Center, celebrating over 80 years in family business. And here's how it looks, your 7-day forecast. There we go, 27 degrees on Saturday, now calling for 29 on Sunday. Every time we look, it seems it has gone up a degree. And again, those overnight lows, that's where we should be, 14, 15 degrees for the daytime highs this time of year. So it's not going to cool off terribly much. We have another bonus day full of sunshine on the Monday, and then easing back down a little closer to seasonal, 21 degrees with about a 60% chance of showers on Tuesday. Wednesday, quite a bit cooler. And those overnight lows, if you take a look at Thursday, we will be back down talking about the freezing mark and frost advisories, as we often are this time of year. Well, the Princess Margaret Home Lottery VIP prize deadline is tonight. You could win a BMW and a trip to Bali for 2 people, or take $100,000 cash. Plus, 3,500 lucky winners will get a $100 home lottery ticket. Over 17,000 prizes will be awarded, valued at more than $12 million. That includes a $7 million grand prize featuring an Oakville show home. Every ticket gives you a chance to win life-changing prizes and helps fund life-saving cancer research at the Princess Margaret. You can get your tickets today at princessmargaretlotto.com or by calling 1-866-631-1234. Well, just ahead, how police and bylaw are preparing for this weekend's annual Panda game. It's a big one, and we have a new pop quiz online tonight. You can test your knowledge of the week's news. Take the quiz at ctvnewsottawa.ca. Now, some other stories you need to know right now. Police and bylaw officers are preparing for this weekend's Panda game, biggest university game in Canada. CTV's Steph Keys has details on that and more. Steph?
Patricia, police and bylaw officers are urging students to celebrate responsibly and respect the communities during this weekend's football rivalry known as the Panda game. In recent years, the festivities have come with university students being on their best behavior, but heavy warnings have been happening annually ever since things got out of hand back in 2021. That's when thousands of students took over the streets of Sandy Hill and the car got flipped onto its roof. The following year, more than half a dozen people were arrested and dozens of tickets handed out. Kickoff this year between the U Ottawa GGs and the Carleton Ravens will happen around noon Sunday at TD Place. But post-game parties go well into the night.
3 to the left, 3 to the right for Brown. Shirley looking to throw. How about a corner round? Got it! Touchdown, Ottawa!
Friday night football, too. The Red Blacks back in action at home after a bye week and in a tough spot. The best in the West, the 10-4 Saskatchewan Roughriders, paying a visit. The Red Blacks record, the complete opposite, 4-10. Meaning they likely have to win their final 4, including a pair against Montreal to make the playoffs. A long shot at best. Game time is 7:30 on TSN.
This logo is to help us mark our 40th anniversary in 2026.
At City Hall today, Mayor Mark Sutcliffe helped to reveal the winning logo for Harmony House's 40th anniversary. Harmony House is a transitional housing women's shelter supporting women and children who are survivors of violence. More than 150 votes for a new logo were cast in public voting last month. The winning logo will be featured throughout 2026.
And the Yankees have completed step 1 on their way back to a World Series.
We now know the Blue Jays will face the New York Yankees in their American League Division Series. The Yankees eliminated Boston with a 4-0 win. The Jays and Yankees will play Game 1 of the American League Division Series in Toronto tomorrow starting at 4 p.m.
It is obviously very important to remember the impact of your generosity here today.
It was a record-breaking event last night at the second annual Trivia Night for CHEO. More than 300 guests were at Lansdowne attending the community fundraiser, featuring multiple rounds of trivia, a silent auction, and raffle prizes. The sold-out crowd surpassed this year's fundraising goal by raising $160,000 to support pediatric cancer research. And the event was emceed by our very own CTV's Austin Lee. It looks like a ton of fun, a packed room, a lot of smart people there.
Absolutely. We know Austin has a bunch of fun with it, but I got to get out to one of those one of these times. See if we still got it here, Steph.
That's right.
Still know our trivia.
Try and cover the 11:30 news so I can be out late at night and not here at work.
Yeah, that's the tough thing.
I got to call in a favor.
We'll find a way to bust you out.
It's hard to even imagine 150 years back when they first started. It was the club was held outdoors.
Hurry hard, it is a curling marathon. The Perth Curling Club celebrating 150 years with non-stop curling this weekend.
Dream big with Move 100. Now, dream $20,000 bigger. Starting next week, listen for your chance to win $20,000. Dream big, win bigger with Ottawa's Move 100.
Get the latest live local breaking news. Sign up now for our morning and evening CTV News Ottawa newsletter. The best local content from CTV News, Your Morning Ottawa, and News Talk 580 CFRA. Get it all in one place. Sign up now at ctvnewsottawa.ca. The CTV News Ottawa newsletter is brought to you in part by CAA Business.
It's a milestone on the ice in the Ottawa Valley. The Perth Curling Club is marking its 150th anniversary this weekend, and to celebrate, players are participating in a curling marathon. CTV's Dylan Dyson reports.
We're actually going to be using one of her stones, which were made out of iron,
to kick off our 150 ends of curling tonight. We believe this stone was used in the late 1800s here at the club.
Curling in Perth has a long history.
Curling in Perth started 150 years ago. The club was officially designated in December of 1875, and it was seen to be a very important part of the culture at the time here in town.
It was hard to even imagine 150 years back when they first started. It was the club was held outdoors.
To celebrate the start of its 150th season, the Perth Curling Club is hosting a curling marathon this weekend, where 150 ends or 60 games will be played starting Friday evening all the way through into Sunday.
We're going to be curling non-stop, one long game, with various curling members replacing each other as the weekend goes along.
As a tribute to its roots, the occasion will begin with the throw of a stone used in the 1800s. Only back then, they were irons made out of 40 pounds of solid metal. The longevity of the sport of curling here in Perth is quite remarkable the more you think about it. For context, this building was built for the curling club in 1953, 72 years ago. But people here in the community were still curling 78 years before that. Keeping the weekend on track will be volunteers like David Murdoch, who has been a member of the curling club for 12 years.
The big question, who the heck wants to curl at 2 a.m.? And all the juniors and teenagers, oh, I'd love to curl at 3 o'clock in the morning.
With 150 participants this weekend from ages 7 to 91, these curlers say it's not the wins and losses that will be remembered, but a community that came together over the love of the game.
The community feeling here in this club is absolutely outstanding. The club is run on a volunteer basis, and that reflects what the town of Perth is really about. It's all about people and community.
When we moved here, we didn't know a soul in Perth. And after 6 months of curling, we had 150 friends.
Dylan Dyson, CTV News, Perth.
I don't know if that looked like curling weather, but all right, good stuff for them. And just ahead, we'll have tonight's top financial stories from the BNN Bloomberg newsroom.
Hey. CTV and TSN 1200 want you to be the Myers Automotive Group Team of the Week. Your team could win $1,000 for new equipment, tournament fees, or an incredible team party.
Shoot us a quick video uploaded at ctvottawa.ca. Whether it's hockey, ringette, choir, band, or any team in between. Each week, the winning team will join us live in studio at CTV Ottawa at 6 to claim their prize.
Enter today for your chance to be Myers Automotive Group Team of the Week.
It's the Ottawa Fall Home Show. We're here at the EY Center with Antonia from Roofs of Steel, obviously specializing in roofing.
Exactly. And steel is definitely the way to go in the future for many different reasons. And there's many different types of steel roofs at many different budgets. So everybody can find something that works for them.
If you have any questions or you're wondering about Roofs of Steel, you just have to come and see Antonia at their booth here during the Ottawa Fall Home Show on until Sunday.
iHeartRadio Weekenders is powered by Barhaven Ford, Ottawa's newest and largest Ford store, and Eastern Ontario's Ford EV leader.
Getting those Friday feels. Time now to check in with our iHeartRadio Weekender, Tanea Taylor. Tanea.
Starting things off today with another fair to check out, the 169th edition of the Metcalf Fair, presented by the Metcalf Agricultural Society, runs all weekend, and it's a great one to bring the whole family to. It will, of course, feature all your fair favorites like a midway and lots for the kids, along with livestock shows and live entertainment. Next on today's list is the race to end homelessness. In a city as awesome as Ottawa, no one should be left without a safe place to call home. Tomorrow at the RA Centre, you can participate in a 10K, 5K, or 1K walk that aims to unite our community with one goal in mind, a future where everybody has a home. This is being put on by the Alliance to End Homelessness in Ottawa. And finally today, check out the RBC Race for the Kids on Sunday. This is your chance to challenge yourself with a 5K, 10K, or 2K family fun run, or cheer on the runners. This also features bouncy castles, a mechanical bull, games, and lots more. It all takes place at Wesley Clover Parks. For all the details on these events and everything else happening around the capital this weekend, check ctvottawa.ca/weekenders. For the iHeartRadio Weekenders, I'm Tanea Taylor. Have a great one.
iHeartRadio Weekenders is powered by Barhaven Ford, Ottawa's newest and largest Ford store, and Eastern Ontario's Ford EV leader.
Returning now to one of our top stories, there is some movement in the Canada Post strike. BNN Bloomberg's Marilla Fernandez has more on that in the day's other business headlines.
Canada Post has presented a new offer to the union representing striking workers. It includes the same offer of a 13.6% increase over 4 years, but the Crown Corporation has pulled a signing bonus off the table, citing its worsening financial situation. Mail carriers have been on strike for a week. The union says it will review the offer. Here are the closing numbers for the day. The Canadian dollar is down to 71.66. West Texas Intermediate crude is up to 60.53. Western Canadian Select to 49.02. And the TSX hit another record close again today, shooting up another 311 points. Those are your business headlines. I'm Marilla Fernandez.
Her name was Kitty, made her money being pretty and witty. They gave her the keys to this city.
Well, coming up, Taylor Swift drops her much-anticipated 12th studio album, Life of a Showgirl. If you did not stay up last night, we will share a little bit of that music after the break. Here's a live look through our Centennial Glass Skycam. 23 degrees in Ottawa. Beautiful Friday evening for your Ottawa Red Blacks ahead of a gorgeous weekend in Ottawa. We will see temperatures in the mid to upper 20s right through until Monday.
Pure Country 94, Ottawa's country music station. Pure access to the biggest stars and the hottest songs. After all the bars are closed. Download the free iHeartRadio app to listen to Pure Country everywhere.
Monday on CTV, Your Morning Ottawa. Should we get rid of daylight saving time? One Ottawa politician thinks so. We'll tell you more Monday morning. Wake up the right way with Your Morning Ottawa.
Hairstyles, courtesy of Salon Fiorella.
Here's what's on CTV on your Friday night. E-Talk, The Big Bang Theory, Celebrity Wheel of Fortune, Special Forces, World's Toughest Test, and back-to-back episodes of Big Bang. And here's a recap of the top stories we are following right now.
This is a very bad area. It's a high-speed area, and I understand why we need it.
Mayors across the province, including Mark Sutcliffe, pushing back on the province's plan to ban speed cameras across Ontario.
All the time, actually. There's always road work being done.
Well, you may be stuck in traffic gridlock this weekend with closures on the 417. In addition, the entire LRT Line 1 will be shut down.
And the weather being as it is and it's going up, I'm opening the pool again on Sunday. I do this every Tuesday.
Back in the pool, back on the course. It is summer in October or Hot-tober. Record-breaking temperatures are in the forecast for this weekend. We want to break that down for you as we take one more look at the weather forecast. You're going to wake up to 10 degrees in the sunshine tomorrow. You see a mix of sun and cloud through the day. Not much of a wind. It's going to feel very warm tomorrow. 27 for your Saturday, 29 for your Sunday. We could see records broken on both Sunday and Monday. Lots more sunshine on the way as you start the work week. 27 degrees. Dips to 21 for Tuesday with about a 60% chance of showers, and then slides back into seasonal temperatures. Well, time now to check in to see what our news team will be working on for tonight. Stefan Keys is on the desk at 11:30. Steph?
Thank you, Patricia. We've been talking about supervised injection sites in the city and province, and tonight we'll share a story out of neighboring Quebec. That's where a Montreal area mother says her 6-year-old son picked up a crack pipe and blew into it on school grounds, and notes it may have ended up there because the elementary school is located next to a supervised drug consumption site. The site can't be blamed for certain, but this mother says she is thinking about moving out of the neighborhood. And of course, we'll keep an eye on other things happening right here in Ottawa and let you know how the Red Blacks do in tonight's game if you can't attend. Patricia.
Or if you can't attend and you just want to see it all over again.
That's right.
All right, Steph, good stuff. Finally for us tonight, Taylor Swift fans, myself included, maybe a little tired today. A lot of us staying up past midnight to be among the first to stream her brand new album. Okay, that is the track, The Fate of Ophelia. And the reason we're playing that one is because that is the favorite track of our 6 p.m. producer, Hannah.
Okay. Not yours?
Yeah, I didn't get a say in this. The Life of a Showgirl is a 12th studio album, and it will also be showcased in movie theaters this weekend. The superstar sharing her new music along with a cinematic release party event. So audiences will get a behind-the-scenes look at how the album came together, as well as its first music video. Swift says fans dancing in the theater is optional, but highly encouraged. I imagine some of that will be happening if the Eras Tour is any example.
Did you like what you heard?
I loved it.
Really?
I loved it. Maybe not quite Tortured Poets level, although tough to say because I've only listened to it completely through once. So let me listen to it a dozen more times. But no, I think it was...
That Ophelia song almost sounded Madonna-esque.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
It's a little more upbeat than the more lyrical Tortured Poets. There's a, as you know, a Taylor era for everything.
For everything.
There. Have a great weekend, everyone. Enjoy that sunshine.